And I think a lot of people have been shocked already with Full Sense's performance. Even with losing their game, they put up such a strong performance there, even thwarted. And they could give Cloud9 a run for their money. We're going to see it right here. As like you said, C9, the favorites from the region almost, saying, could they win it all? Is Sentinel still there? Well, they'll have to work themselves out of the lower bracket. And C9 knows all about lower brackets, from League to Valorant. Right. They do the gauntlet runs. Right. So maybe the moons are aligning for them in that sense.
They've been here before, and now they're on split. Full Sense starting off on the attacking half. Fault line swing out as Mitch tries to deal some damage, push a couple of members of Full Sense back, and they've been able to do so. Riv, we've lost already 40 seconds in the round, and we haven't seen much of anything.
Looking again, you know, the Des mentioned a bit. John Olsen back on the Jet as we have a little A pressure here. John Olsen back on the Jet, and PTC goes to that breach from their previous play of how they would have sorted this map out. So a little more utility brought to the squad, but still the opening shots of this man right here, Johnny O, coming up strong.
And it looks like, so Full Sense off of that pick A, they managed to establish having control, but the spike never left Garage. So
that's true.
Off of Cloud9, they saw that, they started to rotate back. John Olsen now starting to work his way forward onto the site as the rest of Full Sense follows, and Cloud9 have given up space. They're still playing close by, but they're willing to give up the site, allow it to go down, and then they're going to fight for the retake. They've already lost one, 12 seconds left. Gotta get the spike down, they do so.
Where do they decide? They're packed in pretty well to the back of the site. Utility on the side of Cloud9. Looks like a few smokes, a bit of that breach util to get themselves back in the turret for the flank watch. And they're going to have to watch the flank because PTC could have the round in his hands.
Well, on the utility, well, he's burned it all at this point, but you're right, the flank is going to be there. Zeta's managed to get 2 kills, but there's PTC. You called it, Riv. He's got 2 in
those situations.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to carry anything into this next round. Cloud9 playing this a bit conservatively, carry out pistols, and see if they can, cause some economic damage, potentially snatch a round back. We'll see how things play out, but Full Sense, this is, again, an excellent start for them to walk away with a pistol. They've got full Spectres and have full armor the entire way, too, and in the previous round, we saw they were much more, they were very slow, right? And it's tough to say much more slow, but they were very slow. They were very methodical in how they approach things, and this time it is a bit of the same. Once again, we're going to find ourselves at about the 1 minute mark in the left in the round before we see much movement forward at all.
And you see how C9 on defense is playing the breach. It flows from left to right, whichever site that Zeta can be at when he is on priority for it. The team will call for him. So you see him now leaning towards A. I like what Full Sense is doing here. You open up mid and see if you can get a peek from Cloud9, playing it very slow and patient here. Just a little bit of util on both sides of the map.
And Superbus is just absolutely littered B with Astra utility, right? Like, you've got stars, you've got smoke, you've got everything. Right now, one of them being the smokes that's denying entry in from defender spawn. So it certainly seems like they want to lean that way. Cloud9 not rotating over quite yet. Full Sense should be able to get onto the site, but you've got Vanity playing in the smoke. He might get a chance at something here if he gets the timing just right. Lamy Snacks unknowingly has the barrel right in his ear. He's able to take Vanity out. Zeta falls as well. Cloud9, I don't know that they had much of a chance in this round.
Right, the eco kind of splits them up a little bit. They did try to rotate fast with the lean on Zeta. And
well, so we'll see how Cloud9 weather that. Full rifles, light armor on just Vanity. And while Full Sense is still riding this bonus, I like this aggression coming up from Cloud9 towards A here.
Yeah, why not? They haven't really pressured Full Sense yet. The first gun round, why don't they? And Leaf and Zeppa come up big, Doug.
And Full Sense tried pushing into that aggression, and they got punished for it. John Olsen and Superbus have both dropped. Cloud9 with the numbers advantage, and now they peel back a bit, see how they want to reset the situation. The spike is going to rotate back towards mid in the hands of PTC, as you were just saying. But here's the thing, like, Vanity is set up in a really good spot to it, too. You see the setup in B Heaven. There are nano swarms, and then you can play off of the contact from where Vanity is. That's a really good setup.
PTC made it through, and then they're in the strat. Maybe someone peeks me. They don't know. We've kind of encroached on defensive territory, but now that they've moved back into mid, not too much space is taken. A dangerous move by Lammy, but he gets himself in there too. So they have a bit of control over the rotation of the map through mid. Cloud9 doesn't want any of that, though. Yeah, they're going to wait for Full Sense to come to them.
And I wonder if we're waiting for Zeta, to get the fault line. It just came online. And if the flash had enough info,
oh boy,
you may have had something going there. Again, you see Zeta, he's already set up for it. They're just waiting for the cue, right? They're there, and that very well should be it because a couple of kills have been traded. There's a fault line that we were just talking about, pushes them back. The spike, once again, still hasn't made it onto the site, and this time we're down to 15 seconds left, right? Like, you have to show enough so that you can kind of trick them later on in the round. But if full sends aren't showing anything, if they're just kind of sitting back and then they go, you can get figured out very quickly, Rip.
And Zeppa trying to figure stuff out right now. He'll actually see that the Cypher trap was destroyed. You can always consider they're waiting for the flank. They've already left that, but the Roomba gives them enough information. You see the lean from C9 already. Will Full Sense be able to activate this, execute fast enough? As the Viper wall is up, but they have a hell of a lot of C9 utility to get through.
Gravity Well was used a bit early. The Nanostorm hasn't. Oh, actually, it just went off. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, observers, for catching that right on time. Now, Full Sense trying to get onto the site. A couple of kills have been traded. Mitch still anchoring backside. He hasn't moved an inch, and he hasn't had to up until now. Leaf's able to take one of them back. He's still up in heaven. There's Mitch. We just called on him a moment ago. Tries to and manages to get Cloud9 into a 2v2 in this situation. Leaf caught with utility out. Mitch, the anchor, in a position to make a big play for Cloud9. He's
so far, we're getting to round 5. We'll see if C9 can bring it back into their favor. It's Full Sense. Stop the bleeding right away.
So take a look at weaponry. Vanity has a judge. Mitch has a judge as well. And it's this weird lighter buy because, you know, Zeta has a sheriff. It's just a frenzy for Leaf. But Cloud9 have a knack for making judges work, particularly Vanity. So we'll see. I want to keep a very close eye on how they position because oftentimes you want to set yourself up in spots where that judge becomes the difference maker, right? Like you're not putting yourself on poor footing.
So this time they have Zeta over towards B. They're predicting the B fault line into an exec from Full Sense here. So Full Sense may have the read, may have a site. We'll have to see how Cloud9 finally replies to a full team being in the site. Usually Full Sense has a big flanker, but not this time.
And Full Sense has gone a bit early. They have 3 ultimates to work with as well. 3 impactful ultimates, no less. They've managed to get onto the site. There's only one left, and that's Lammy Snacks, making sure there's nobody rotating down ramps, which is where Vanity would end up if he continues this route. The Rolling Thunder comes through, and it pushes him all the way back. But John Olsen drops. The Showstopper's going to fall as well. Zeppa clearing out space. He goes down. He isn't able to land the shots, but the Spectre does. It's all right. The judge gets one as well as it all falls down to Superbus to try to make this happen here. He's going to get a chance. Oh, my goodness. That their ultimates, right? So they still have the Bladestorm. They have the North left, and now they have the Cosmic Divide in the hands of Superbus to work with. And we see John Olsen's Bladestorm providing no value as Leaf just takes his head off.
Very quick. They tried to get the fault line through as well. A lot of little pre-round things, or start of round things happening, I should say. Cloud9 not falling prey to that. Leaf, we heard Dash talking about it. He didn't have a great game on that Sky 4 split, so let's see if he can pull it back here as he opens up one on the start of this round.
Then flash info gathered mid from Leaf. We talked about statistically his Sky performances have been underwhelming, but he does provide a good bit of value off the utility from the agent alone. That's a pretty good setup that they've got going on in heaven, but really off of that, Full Sense have made this competitive. They've made this interesting, but Leaf plays the position just right and drops Superbus.
C9 not sure where Full Sense is at the moment. You just saw Guiding Light go up top, but they know where Lammy Snacks is. Little Gravity Well sucks him in for a shot for Mitch there.
30
and
seconds
now
left.
PTC usually has a great roam on the breach so far throughout the beginning of this game, but is it enough to drop 4? Sorting out the beginning so you know what to keep doing. Nobody's losing their head just yet. Full Sense, I think that was a good timeout.
Interesting different positioning from Mitch. He's got the alarm bot in mid here. Try to gather some info as Full Sense have shown that they like to feel out, you know, test the waters, if you will, poke and prod a bit across mid before they decide where they want to go with things. You also have Leaf playing a bit further up, right? Like he's normally up in a heaven and he'll flash down into ropes, try to get info, but he isn't normally the one himself in that spot. Now he's playing down in ropes. So Cloud9 have clearly shown a bit more interest and a bit more focus in controlling mid-map. The alarm bot's already grabbed value. The gravity wall comes out, but Full Sense manages to stay alive for now.
That's nice. A little change by C9's alert bot change there for Killjoy. Mitch gets the dash already out of John Olsen. Little things changing to mix up how Full Sense feels the round out. Like you said, they still want that mid, though. And Cloud9's been giving it to them. It's interesting to see what teams have altered to switching on, focusing A alt orb, now letting A Heaven be a thing you defend. Giving up mid and just defending this rotational spot now of Rote. Because what do they get? Left. Heaven still have to get to sight. Right. C9 playing it very patient. Oh my gosh, Zeta throws out the Rolling Thunder to just deny anything. 20 seconds left, Doug.
Well, and they want, oh, what was that? Zeppa drops. PTC swings around. You mentioned the Rolling Thunder. They also dropped the Seekers as well, and they spotted that there were a couple players mid. You see the Cosmic Divide coming out, as the Defenders does as well. Lockdown, 3 ultimates on the site here. The Spike still just now making its way onto the site. And you've got Vanity in a brutal spot as Vanity and Mitch. Leaf gets in on it as well. It's a clean sweep onto the site once Full Sense made their way there. Cloud9 respond beautifully.
That was incredible. Here comes they've gotten the lead. It was quiet before.
And it's a good advice, right? You have to kill the bomb diffuser.
There you go.
Certainly wise words of wisdom out from Vanity in that instance. But Full Sense, they've been very competitive up until this point. They still have 2 ultimates to work with in this round, and this mid presence that we've seen really every single round up until this point, Riv. They're not deviating from that initial approach.
They're not. And they're setting up the same default. Mitch? You're kidding me.
He was sitting in that fault line. He was sunned up.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch with an op, by the way. Something we've mentioned from Cloud9 before, that he is such a flexible player, always has been, and you'll see him with the operator in different positions on the map. It'll catch you completely off guard as Full Sense lose John Olsen at the beginning of round 8.
Full Sense rocking the spike in the hands of Lemmy Snacks. You see a couple of pings on your mini-map looking towards back B site, so it looks like that's where they want to go. But guess what? Mitch isn't letting you in. That operator, he's been so good with it, and he just continues to cause problems. There's nowhere that's safe. You can't go in towards garage. You can't work your way up mid as well. Cloud9 causing serious problems.
The Viper's Pit. Let's see if they can execute a bit more here. Bomb's going to be in mid this time.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right. They have the ultimate economy to their name, but they do have armor. They all have light armor.
Try and go for a little buy. See what they can hit.
Yeah, I guess ultimately that's what it comes down to, right? Like, see what you can hit. You all have sheriffs in your hands. See if you can make something out of this. But Riv, I think the interesting thing is Full Sense, they're not changing the opening plays to the rounds, right? Like,
no.
It's been
Cypher
a bit of the
right,
same.
Viper left, 3 mid.
Right.
Oh, I feel that. And that kind of works to only protocols. They're trying to feel what Cloud9 is doing, I think, instead of have their own agenda, which sometimes work if you're trying to read the other team. But now that they're ahead of you, C9 won't be giving much up. And they'll be taking quite a bit. Chalalala goes down there on a ramp. Almost another shot here from Vanity, and he's going to call for Leaf. Oh, my word. He drops 3 immediately, and those sheriffs will do no damage.
None at all. It really just comes down to Lemmy Snacks and his sheriff to do some damage. There's no way he can easily get to the spike at this point either, so this seems like a bit of a foregone conclusion. Cloud9 should be able to get their way to 6. Although, Lemmy Snacks, if you hear me, brother, make me eat my words, because that would be
where the alarm bots are. This is where. So walk into the alarm bot instantly and get away from the round. Now one of the players of C9 have to worry about Heaven more. The little hanging fruit that you can attack that you're seeing from C9 isn't being attacked by Full Sense.
Well, and so we already see a difference. Full Sense, instead of working mid, they're trying to work A, but Leaf has already gotten 2 flashes that have confirmed that there are people there, right? Like, they're getting the information off of that, so they should be wise to it, and John Olsen gets dropped.
The first time KJ Turret has been watching Heaven, giving Leaf an upper hand in the situation. Mitch with the operator from Heaven B into the back of B, now using that at A as he continues to be omnipresent for the squad.
Seekers come through. Superbus finds an opener towards B, but you've got Zeppa who's there as well. He hasn't moved.
You just gave up another Vandal in mid.
I know exactly.
Oh, that's a good neural theft, though. That's going to push things back. You can see Zeppa's going to have to give that angle up, drop the nade, just in case they're pushing an aggressive. That's actually going to force Full Sense with the spike towards A, but they walk right into an alarm bot. Now they still have to reconsider things. They haven't found a way in.
And that alarm bot also was not there for the past 9 rounds. C9 changing things up to just throw Full Sense for a loop. They can still respond, though. 3v4 is a very, very possible round here for Full Sense.
2 members of Cloud9, they're on B. They're going to have to make something happen. Zeppa not able to do so. Do you check Vanity in this spot? He's still playing back garage, plays his life, plays around some of the utility as well as Chala gets the spike down. You see the other remaining members of Cloud9 now starting to show up. The Viper Spit comes through out from Lammy Snacks as Vanity.
That kind of gets...
Mad Laddie's going in! Oh, he's able to take her Lammy Snacks, but Chalala takes him out as well. A 2v2 for the side as the Operator not able to land the first time, but the Frenzy does, as they're going to get the defuse as well. Full Sense found a way in. They managed to get the spike down, invest util on it.
They were 4v3 to a 3v3 there, no comeback needed.
Still rifles for Full Sends, even with that last round going a bit sideways. Lammy Snacks has the Bulldog, but everyone else has Vandals and Phantoms to their name. I like this positioning out from Cloud9, taking space across Garage, and they set up this cheeky little angle where you have Zeta.
Oh boy.
Yep, the flash comes out. Forget it, it wasn't a cross. They just flash and they go in aggressive. The Rolling Thunder is going to come up and it's going to push them back, and off of that Full Sense take Garage.
The 1v1. Do they pause it though? Obviously the rotation's coming over. It's still going to be Leaf waiting as Full Sense pause for just a moment.
Oh, and I think the pause is off of, you mentioned Leaf, Riv, just a moment ago. He dropped the Trailblazer in towards mid, back towards Ramen, and didn't spot anyone. So that's why you see him playing a bit more cautiously.
Right? Might need to be
rotated off. Yeah, exactly. But now they know, and Mitch able to get the first. You can see the lockdown's going to come out as well. Zepa's drop. Cloud9, you can tell, you can even see it in the post-round reactions. They're having fun, they're loose, they're enjoying themselves right now, and that's a scary Cloud9, right? Like, that's the Cloud9 that people expected coming into this tournament, this loose play style where they're confident, they're popping off across the stage, and they're feeling good about themselves. That's where you see this incredible run that they've gone on, where Full Sense have not found any room to work with, they haven't found any room to breathe. And that's how they find themselves at this 5-round deficit. A stack towards A, a 5-man stack too. And this is where things get really interesting because once again, take a look at where Zepa is. He's already pushed in Garage. He's in Ramen now. He's about to see that mid is absolutely clear. There's so much info gathered here.
We have an altered strat here a bit. Not the 1-3-1 that we've seen from Full Sense across the map. Focusing numbers. PTC finds Zepa. Well, this is going to be a good start.
Yep. That was very unexpected. An upgraded weapon. But with that, they still double down A. You still have the Op. You still have the KJ and the Astro Util all over the place.
There.
But it looks like they want to go
30 seconds left.
Anyway, and the question is, like, how long until Mitch gets a shot at this thing?
I mean, you technically have a third person, right? You don't need Vandy there. He's going to throw off the Astra Util 2 in sight, are distracted by the turret, and that could be enough, Doug.
And there was the op that we talked about, the grab. He walked up the first player at Bay. Mitch gets a second one onto PTC. He's about to have another one up close. John Olsen swings around, drops him. Vanity does the same right back. Vanity's going to have to win this 1v1. He isn't able to do so, but Zeta has shown up. 3 seconds left. Make that none. As
Gotta check the stats for defensive side, because Full Sense for picking this map has not convinced me, Doug.
Nope.
The 1-3-1 consistently running the rounds. Maybe it's the defensive side where they start to absorb their opponents and just play the way that C9 played that in a sense. Obviously not the same game, but Full Sense's style, because Cloud9 with a pistol here could easily run away with it, and they are set up to just default the heck out of this one to start it and see what Full Sense will throw at them as defense.
You just saw Zeta like, considering things. They want to go B here. You see they've taken mid. You have some of that breach util. Zeta just goes back, picks up the spike. They want to go that way. The Flash should gather some info that there are 2 players, or at least that there are players, excuse me, back towards Heaven, and they're going to peel right back, Riv, but I'm not fully convinced. Again, Zeta still has a spike towards Garage.
Right there.
Turret's watching the back, so it looks like they at least want to stay or wait for the turret to trigger so they can play off of that. But Mitch is going to peek first. Big dink onto John Olsen. Massive. Think twice about doing that again. Leaf's going to do the same, and there's the push coming in as PTC, or sorry, Chalala wants to get the aggression onto Garage, and it's not going to happen on Mitch.
No, it's not working, and even if he had somehow gotten that, there were 2 other members from Cloud9 who were rotating back onto the site, so the guy was a sitting duck. He was surrounded. Lammy Snacks up in Heaven. That's an excellent shot. Superbuzz keeping things interesting as well. Mitch in this 1v2, they're both so weak. All he has is a classic to work with, though, and he's certainly worse for wear as well. 1, that's the key. He had to isolate that gunfight. He still has his classic jumping around, waiting to see where Superbus is going to push this. Patience! Superbus lands the shots. Full Sense win the pistol. Potter mentioned it on the desk, like, it was essentially their saving grace that they won the pistol in the first round.
half.
They managed to do it again here. Maybe not full sense. Cloud9, they buy
They do.
Spectres and a Bulldog in the hands of Mitch, so doesn't seem like they're comfortable just letting this round go. And they're leaning towards A right now. The spike not in anyone's hand. They want to frag this bad boy out.
This is a statement round for C9.
Oh, what statement's being made? Lammy Snacks and Superbus make a statement, but Cloud9 do as well, as the debate continues between these two. A couple of kills go down, and off of that, they should know now that Cloud9 did buy up, that they don't just have pistols, and Full Sense have to adjust accordingly, and keep that in mind as the rest of the round goes on.
Currently have the upper hand in those weapons, and as much as it is a make-or-break round here, in the message sender for C9, if Full Sense wins it, it's return to sender, right? They say here, take it right back.
Right.
We're going to make it that much harder on you. So C9 really have to come up with this. Mitch, 1 away from the ultimate. If he can get it this round, it pretty much solidifies it. So a kill on him would be huge.
Oh,
Ooh, cha-la-la-la.
that's huge. Talk about huge. Chalala is the only one on the site, too. So he had to go big there as Vanity dropped. Chalala still is going to have his hands full, but he has full armor. He has full health. And he's got 2 targets before him, but he drops! PTC, the last one on the site here in this 1v2. Both members of Cloud9 so weak. The spike just now starting to go down. I like the use of utility to delay PTC's advancement to go forward, create path for the spike to go competitive, or else you're going to get blown out on your map pick to open the series in this elimination match.
And Doug, we go to Breeze next. In the last 10 plays, C9 are 9-1. On Breeze to a 3-3 record for Full Sense. So for Full Sense to lose their map here may be enough for C9 to bring it through. This one's not over yet. We can't say that, but Full Sense have their work cut out here as C9 has played the default to perfection to get the site.
Taking that back.
A little bit of Astra eye candy going down towards A as Vanity drops 2 stars, one in Heaven, one in Defender Spawn, and then recalls them almost instantly. And off of this, you see Cloud9, they're slowly working mid, trying to see if they can find some room to work with.
Yeah.
Also the alarm bot there in B to make sure that Chalala is not up to his crazy antics again, pushing his way into garage. We'll see how Cloud9 choose to play this out.
45 seconds. Secondary util's gonna be up. Maybe another guiding light coming through. Leaf's gonna have the one they need, however, to take Heaven. And they run right through once again, knowing it's pistols that they're facing.
Yeah, it's a bit too easy at that point, right? Like, you can see it once they had the positioning that they wanted, once they had the utility available. It was the flash, it was the fault line, it was taking space across mid.
Main, at least to get a feeler, a push into B main to get a feeler, right? Know where C9 isn't is enough right now, I think, for Full Sense to get the upper hand on the first kill, because right now they're not using any info. They're letting C9 approach them.
So Lammy Snacks and Superbus are 1 point each away from having their ultimates online, and those are considerable ultimates when it comes to trying to push back a site take or trying to fight for a post plant or site retake as well. So we'll see if they manage, if they can get either a kill or get an ult, or if they can do something with those.
Vanity's like, hey, I'm in sight. And with the way Full Sense is playing this, it's, hey, will post-plant execute? But the trades haven't been there. The timing hasn't been there. So you're going to give Cloud9 a full sight when you've had trouble taking it back. Full Sense is definitely putting the pressure on themselves.
TC with the flash.
Oh, that's
huge. Able to get it, but yeah, it's traded right back. The spike still hasn't made its way onto the site. You've got Chalala, who's still playing up in Heaven on this side of the Astra smoke. It drops. He's able to land the shots onto Leaf and manages to stay alive.
Right there.
Damage has been done. Spike's still not down. Now it's going to go down. Zeta has the Rolling Thunder,
yes,
too.
good call.
Spike planted.
I don't think they can get Chalala over anybody for that neural uplink, so they're not going to be able to figure out where they can get the frags left. They have the flank from Mitch, Doug. The post plant set up. Will Full Sense keep this off game point?
And remember, he just has a Bulldog, and Zeta only has a Spectre. But once they feel where the pressure is coming from, they may be able to get something going. Here they go. The dash comes through out from John Olsen. That's going to trigger the Rolling Thunder. As you see, John Olsen made his way around Pillar Zeppa, creeping his way forward from up from Heaven. He gets dropped at the hands of Superbus. It all falls down to Zeta. Zeta's able to get one, able to get a second.
Zeta?
Oh, he's going to have to get a third. Switches to the Classic, not able to do it. Full Sense should get the defuse and get to 5.
It's the yellow wire. Perfect.
Have a full buy. Now they do. They have so much to their buy that they have Mitch with the operator, making sure there's nobody pushing in garage. Full Sense in an equally, I shouldn't say equally because that's not entirely true. John Olsen only has light armor, but they've been able to buy up full rifles as well.
And it hasn't been like a Blade Storm alt game or any, you know, it's just the chances have not arisen for the power players here on Full Sense, it seems. This is creeping. Oh boy. Oh. Almost awkward moment. And C9's playing this one a little faster than usual. And yeah, Zeppa's going to go in without the utility first, and it's costly. John Olsen picks up frag 1.
Mitch has managed to work his way all the way into garage with that operator. We just have to keep a close eye on that. They also have Leaf Seekers.
Ooh, that's right.
So I mean, if they decide to go here, they've got, the thing is they don't have any pressure coming up from heaven, right? Like they don't have any mid presence either, so it's all gonna be funneled in from the same spot. And Superbus and John Olsen are able to stuff the 2 entry members of Cloud9 who don't manage to rake their way out of the site. John Olsen gets bad boy, picks up what Mitch had, also has that Blade Storm to his name, and it looks like he's gonna be peeking right across mid. Early on, there's no one who's gonna contest that at least yet. Keep a close eye on it, the Guardian though. That's pretty good out of Mitch.
Good return on investment to start this one off. And that's going to cause a little bit of a sorting here from the rest of Full Sense as they move around to get new angles and figure out what would be the most efficient. Another is taken as PTC falls.
They're doubling down on this rift. Cloud9 have 3 pistols in this round. They do have 2 rifles, and they've paid off already. They've found value, but they still have to get to do 3 more rifles on the fight. On the side of Full Sense, Shalala has been pushed back as Mitch drops. You also have the Blade Storm coming out from John Olsen as well. We'll see what he's able to do with it as the spike goes down at the hands of Cloud9.
Spike planted as Superbus still checking the far side of the map. C9 doing a great job of getting themselves in, and now they start to spread out. They leak out of the site, and it's almost going to be a retake on their own plan if they have to.
Oh, they want to push. You can tell Vanity, he wants to push. He wants to go, and there Chalala drops him. The neural theft comes through. John Olsen makes that operator sing, and the Blade Storm does it as well. Full Sense looking so good right now. Cloud9 had a moment where it seemed like they were going to be able to pull it back at a gun deficit, not able to do so. Chalala gets the defuse. Great. And Cloud9 with a full buy. Ops still in the hands of John Olsen. You hear that early ult coming out from Lammy Snacks across mid.
Mid-ult. Well, they know he left his ult. Or at least know somebody's outside the ult. They wouldn't necessarily know it's him. Depends on how Leaf decides to play this further. And they are actually going to stack a PTC just on either side for a bit of a flash or a fault line if Lammy needs it. I like this. That was an A last time. C9 now with their eyes focused on the B side.
And the spike is there. Mitch clearing out the corners into garage. They're going to get in just fine, but you still have John Olsen's operator who's playing backside, as you can see right now. They've really got to play off of utility to make this happen. The Cosmic Divide, all sorts of ultimates coming through, and the Gravity Well keeps Zeppa's showstopper at bay, but he manages to land the shots onto PTC anyway. With that, Full Sense have given up site control. They can't fight for this. They have to attempt to do this at a retake situation.
That makes it so tough. Just on the other side of the wall. Oh my word. Zeta's going to be stuck for a moment now. Cat and mouse everywhere within B site, Doug.
3 members remain for Full Sense as they attempt to retake this thing. Zeta should have just spotted a little bit of something. Operator still in the hands of John Olsen. We're gonna have to work their way forward soon. Reinforcements arriving for Cloud9 as well. John Olsen drops, Lammy Snacks does as well. It's just down to Chalala and his 10 HP dancing around the utility.
Full Sense.
John Olsen wants to go fast. Look at where he's positioned right now with that operator. There it is. It was just off of the utility from PTC. Swings out, and he takes this aggressive angle. The Trailblazer. Oh, Mitch! Oh, baby, that timing was close. The Gravity Well's there as well. That's going to push them back.
I think only 1 was seen, maybe 2 there. I think he saw PTC, but maybe John Olsen as well. So Trailblazer with great info. Turret set up, and a little bit of a different look from C9 as well. That Full Sense will have to read now. John Olsen will approach the ramp once again.
With that operator, he should get a much cleaner angle, but no, the turret pulls him back. That's what I love about this game, man. You've got like these little mini micro fights that happen throughout the much bigger story that goes off throughout the round. So even like that opening duel and the positioning that was set up opened up so much more. And now we see some more of that going down as 2 kills have been traded. Back and forth, the spike rotating back mid. You still have John Olsen with the operator back towards A, and that seems like where Cloud9 want to go. The problem is, Leaf, you rat. You're going to get the timing just right, aren't you? Right into John Olsen. He spots the barrel of the operator. This is surely not one of those moment images taken right before disaster. No, John Olsen's operator drops. The site's been cracked open. Cloud9 should be able to work their way in very effortlessly.
Beautifully taking space. That was incredible. Especially without Vanity, you don't have smokes to go down. So everything you do now only gets a little bit of utility from Raze or from Sky. That's incredible that you've made it that far.
Good flash to get info that somebody's creeping in from defender spawn, and that is PTC. He's slowly, surely creeping his way out, trying to do so safely. A little bit of dueling breaches as fault lines comes through. The gravity well there is there as well to keep Zeta in a brutal spot. Cosmic Divide dropping, Leaf playing first contact. The flash comes out, and there it goes. Yeah, man, they just fall apart.